Well, kids nearing their teens can have a lot of growing pains, both physical and mental.
I spoke with one young lady who's going through that, plus living with a thus far incurable medical condition. She says she's learning to stay resilient while she continues to grow and set a positive example for others. 12-year-old Ayla has a lot of things in common with kids her age.
I like reading quite a bit, and I also really like choir.
When she's not at school, she helps take care of her brother, Asen. She also likes to have fun with him, but it can be challenging, and not just because of his health issues.
I don't want to make him uncomfortable with the temperature in my hands.
Ayla has Raynaud's syndrome. She says she's had it for a while, but it got worse when she went swimming.
It was only maybe 7-10 minutes, I think, that I got in, and then that's when I noticed, and I was like, something's not right here.
Her fingers were bright purple. The palms of her hands were white.
Ayla's mom, Alicia, says she was surprised by the sudden change in the color of her daughter's hands. But it hasn't just been about how her daughter's hands look.
One of her teachers called me and said, Ayla said that her hands are really bad. She's having a hard time even holding the pencil. And I think they were kind of like wondering, is this for real?
It was real. Also real, her daughter being bullied about her discolored, cold hands at school.
We had to talk about being confident and not letting that bring us down. And that we all have different things that affect us. But yeah, that's tough when, you know, everybody's going up and giving each other high fives, and then they stop.
According to the Cleveland Clinic, about 1 in 20 people in the U.S. live with Raynaud's. There are two types, with Dr. Ambrish Chawla saying the primary type, or Raynaud's disease, is the most common.
Which essentially is a condition that usually affects younger women in the teens, 20s, and 30s. And that's usually due to estrogen having a role in perhaps making the smooth muscle around the arteries and the arterioles, or very small blood vessels at the ends of the fingers and toes, a little hypersensitive.
Secondary Raynaud's syndrome, or Raynaud's phenomenon, is typically associated with an underlying condition or disease,
such as scleroderma, inflammatory myositis, Sjogren's syndrome, Raynaud's, associated with vasculitis. And oftentimes, secondary Raynaud's can be secondary to medications a patient may be on, such as a beta blocker for blood pressure, or sometimes associated with the chemical irritants of smoking.
Regardless of the type, Dr. Chawla says in addition to whatever treatment is needed, being kind can also go a long way.
We always have to kind of practice empathy and kindness and compassion for anyone we might see who might be going through something, and maybe understand that maybe that person wearing extra gloves or extra mitts might be going through something a little bit more than just subjectively feeling cold.
Ayla says even if sharing her story helps only one person, it's still one person who can feel a bit more confident about the skin they are in.
That would make me really happy to know that other people don't have to feel self-conscious about it, and they can just go on and live their lives.
Now, according to the Cleveland Clinic, there is nothing someone can do to prevent Raynaud's syndrome, but there are triggers of an attack to watch for.
And we will have this story on kxnet.com after the show with some resources on Raynaud's as well. And we've kind of come up with some of our own. I went and I researched what can you do to warm up your hands, and there's like a lotion that you can use. It has some natural supplements in it, and it kind of helps. Those glove warmers. I've given those to her just to kind of hold throughout the day to keep her hands warm. Because in school they just get ice cold, and like I said, hard to hold the pencil even sometimes. And being 12 years old, she doesn't want to wear gloves in school and have people go, why are you wearing gloves? Try to come up with those solutions.
And it's interesting, when I was asking people if you knew anybody, you said your daughter, then I found like 5 more other people that had it. And then, like I said, 1 in 20 people have this syndrome. So just a very informative story on this.
Definitely. Thank you for sharing that.
You're welcome. Thank you.